Mike, how is Petfolk transforming the pet care industry?
Yeah, I mean, our goal is to create the largest veterinary service business in the country, really by making it unbelievably convenient and easy for pet parents to get veterinary services, while also making it really enjoyable for the vets who are providing that veterinary service to work and go to work.
Well, as an animal lover, a dog lover myself, I can certainly see that there's a great need for new technology to come into this industry. I mean, it's ripe for disruption. So what was the starting point in building Petfolk?
Yeah, it was really my pain point. I got a dog here in New York City, and it was so archaic going through getting kind of my vaccines and everything, and just insanely inconvenient. Now, I was fortunate that my sister's a 25-year plus vet. I was talking with her saying, hey, there's a better way. And she was really excited because she'd actually been working on a concept of how we could do this. So like when she talked through her solution, I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm in. I want to do this.
So what are the core elements of the platform?
Is tech enabled. So what we want to do is make it easy to interact with your vet. And really the reality is that starts with a mobile phone. That starts with being able to do a virtual call with your vet at any time you want. Because it usually starts with a question, right? And then it goes into a retail location. We want to make that transition from virtual to retail to a clinic seamless, right? So you don't want to start all over.
Which is not totally broken today.
Oh, totally broken. They're different services. They're not the same thing. They're forms, pens, pads. So we want to get rid of all that. So you walk in, you go right in to see your vet, no paperwork, everything's done. We have mobile clinics around. And really the idea is that we want to be here for the pet parent whenever they need us.
Well, and vets are under a lot of pressure because pet ownership's on the rise and there's a chronic shortage of veterinary professionals. And so part of what you're trying to do as well is help them have a more manageable workload.
Yeah, I think a big part of this is the veterinary service business for the last 25 years hasn't changed, right? So it's been very stale. So it's really been, how do we solve this through brute force, which really means the vets have to work harder, longer, no technology to kind of optimize that, no real integration. So what we're coming at is with like a lot of industries that are doing is saying, hey, let's work smarter, not harder, right? But if we use technology, if we tech enable this product, we can actually make it a lot more beneficial for the pet parent while also building a lot better work-life balance for the vet.
And improving the outcomes in pet care as well.
Exactly. And I think, again, that's access to healthcare, right? So access, same as human healthcare, is that if you have access to healthcare, if you can actually ask questions, you can be more informed, better outcomes come with better access.
And so what elements of pet care can be delivered virtually?
A ton, especially if you think about dermatology, if you think about like a rash, if you think about certain things. I think a lot of it, what we find the most is pet parents don't know if they need to go to the emergency room. So it's Saturday at 10 p.m.
Right.
and your dog ate something and you're not sure what to do. And you really just want to ask someone right there. And sometimes it does require you to go to the emergency room, but a lot of times what it allows you is to say, hey, no, let's just monitor. There's nothing to do. We're okay.
Mike, you had a unicorn exit with Freshly, and a lot of the tech that you built at Freshly has applications in Petfolk. How does it cross over?
Yeah, I mean, so interesting is like when we started Freshly, it was all about the legacy of food and how the system was broken, not because it needed to, because technology was introduced. And so a lot of the challenges that we're looking at with veterinary services comes around the same thing with food, which is really matching supply and demand real time. And with food, that represents basically that you ended up having unfresh product because you had this horrible supply chain. And in the veterinary world, it means you have overworked doctors who are not able to provide the service that they want to provide, and pets that can't see vets.
And they feel that too, right? They're 100%. Feeling it.
So what you look at is really it's this supply and demand balancing. So for us, it's using AI, it's using machine learning that overlays to understand supply and demand balancing to where we can really optimize the efficiency of the vet while still maintaining the ability to give the services to the pet parent. So it's a lot of the same challenge, obviously very different product offering, but we're actually able to bring a lot of our team over from Freshly who's working with us over at Petfolk.